Once upon a time, there was a village with grassy green land and filled with sunshine and laughter. There lived a kind and beautiful girl named Rapunzel. She was trapped in a tall tower by the wicked Mother Gothel, who forbade her from ever leaving. One day, Rapunzel heard the most wonderful news. The circus was coming to the town. She leaned out her tower window, her long golden hair trailing down like a shimmering ribbon, catching the sunlight. Rapunzel wished to see the clowns, the acrobats, and the magnificent animals. She imagined the vibrant colors, the laughter, and the gasps of awe from the crowd. But alas, she could see world through the window of the tower only. There was a boy named Pinocchio in the village who was made of wooden sticks. One day he skipped through the cobblestone streets, his wooden joints creaking with each joyful step. He was on his way to the circus too. His wooden nose twitched with anticipation, and his heart, though made of wood, felt a flutter of excitement. Pinocchio couldn't wait to see the juggling act and the daring tightrope walkers, who seemed to defy gravity with their incredible skills. He had even heard rumors of a dancing elephant, a sight so rare and magical that it seemed almost like a dream. As he skipped, he practiced his own special trick, making his nose grow longer by telling a tiny white lie, a skill he found both amusing and useful. Meanwhile, high in her tower, Rapunzel hatched a plan. She was determined to break free and experience the wonders of the world outside. Using her long, strong hair as a rope, she began to let down her hair from window. She was afraid, but the thought of the circus filled her with courage and excitement. Finally, Rapunzel escaped from the tower and rushed towards the circus. On the other side, Pinocchio was also going to the circus. The circus grounds were a riot of color and sound, filled with laughter and excitement. Music swirled through the air, and the smell of popcorn made everyone's stomach rumble with hunger. Pinocchio reached there. He wandered past the strong man, flexing his muscles for the crowd, and saw a bearded lady combing her long silky beard, both drawing gasps and applause from the audience. Suddenly, Pinocchio heard a soft whimper coming from behind a striped tent, a sound that tugged at his heartstrings. He peeked inside and saw a sad lion slumped in the corner of a cage, looking utterly defeated. The lion was magnificent, with a thick mane and powerful paws, but his head was hung low, eyes filled with sorrow. "Why are you so sad?" Pinocchio asked, his wooden nose twitching with concern, hoping to offer some comfort. But Lion remained silent and sad. Just then, Pinocchio saw a clumsy panda on a unicycle wobbled past, but Panda did not look expert of this game. Suddenly, Panda crashed into a stack of hay bales with a loud thud. The panda sighed, tears welling up in his eyes, looking utterly sad. "I'll never learn to ride this thing," Panda mumbled, picking himself up and dusting off his fur, frustration evident in his voice. Pinocchio realized that something was wrong. The circus animals and performers weren't happy at all. They were all hiding their sadness behind their acts. Rapunzel reached the circus and was standing alone but very much excited. Pinocchio saw Rapunzel, her golden hair shimmering under the afternoon sun, casting a radiant glow that caught everyone's attention. Rapunzel's eyes were wide with amazement at the colorful tents and lively performers. Pinocchio met her and they started wandering the circus. Pinocchio told her about the sad lion and the clumsy panda. Her smile faded, replaced by a look of deep concern. "Something isn't right," she said, her brow furrowed in concern, her mind racing with thoughts of what could be wrong. They decided to investigate the truth behind the sadness of circus's animals. They found the circus owner, a fat man with a handlebar mustache and a greedy gleam in his eye, who seemed more interested in money than the well-being of his animals. "What's wrong with your lion?" Pinocchio asked, his wooden nose twitching with curiosity and concern. The circus owner chuckled, a cold and mirthless sound that sent shivers down their spines. The circus owner replied, "Who are you? Why are you asking this to me? Go enjoy the circus or get out of my circus." Pinocchio's nose began to grow longer and longer, a clear sign of the owner's dishonesty. The circus owner's eyes widened in surprise, clearly not expecting such a reaction. Rapunzel quickly stepped in, her quick thinking coming to the rescue. "My friend has a condition," she explained. "His nose grows when he knows someone isn't being truthful," hoping to diffuse the tension. The circus owner quickly retreated to his tent, leaving Rapunzel and Pinocchio to continue their investigation undisturbed. Rapunzel and Pinocchio decided to free the animals and performers. But how? The circus owner was greedy and cunning. He would never let them go willingly. "I have an idea," Rapunzel exclaimed, her eyes sparkling with mischief. "My hair! It's strong enough to lift a grown man, remember? We can use it to lower the animals and performers to safety." Pinocchio, his wooden nose back to its normal size, nodded eagerly. "But how will we distract the circus owner and his guards?" he asked. Rapunzel smiled. "Leave that to me," she said, a mischievous glint in her eye. That night, as the sun began to set and the stars twinkled above the circus tents, Rapunzel and Pinocchio put their plan into action. Word had spread throughout the circus about Rapunzel's magical hair. People whispered about its length, its strength, and its radiant glow. The circus owner, ever the opportunist, saw a chance to make even more money. He announced a special performance, Rapunzel and the Magical Hair Show. The tent was packed. Everyone wanted to see Rapunzel's magical hair. She stood in the center of the ring, a spotlight illuminating her golden locks. She twirled and danced, her hair swirling around her like a shimmering curtain. The crowd gasped in wonder. What they didn't see was Pinocchio, hidden behind the curtain, using Rapunzel's hair to lower the sad lion, the clumsy panda, and the other unhappy performers to safety. One by one, Pinocchio helped the performers and animals escape. The sad lion roared with relief as his paws touched the soft grass outside the tent. The clumsy panda, no longer forced to ride the unicycle, tumbled joyfully in the dirt. Panda ran to Rapunzel and hugged her legs tightly. Thank you," he mumbled into her dress, his voice thick with emotion. "You've set us free!" Rapunzel patted his head gently. "You're welcome, little panda," she said, smiling. "No one deserves to be unhappy." The circus owner, blinded by greed, didn't notice the dwindling number of performers. He continued to count his money, dreaming of all the riches he would make from Rapunzel's magical hair. But when the final act was over, and he went to congratulate Rapunzel, he found the tent empty. The cages were empty too. All that remained was a single, shimmering strand of golden hair. He had been tricked. Suddenly, the circus owner felt a pang of guilt. He looked at the single strand of hair, glinting in the moonlight, and thought of Rapunzel's kindness. He thought of the sad lion, the clumsy panda, and the other performers. He realized that he had been wrong. He had been so focused on making money that he had forgotten what truly mattered: happiness and kindness. The circus owner, filled with remorse, set out to find Rapunzel and Pinocchio. He wanted to apologize and make things right. He found them at the edge of the forest, surrounded by the grateful performers and animals. He confessed his greed and cruelty and begged for their forgiveness. Rapunzel, ever compassionate, smiled and offered him her hand. Pinocchio, his wooden nose twitching only slightly, forgave him too. Together, they returned to the circus and created a new kind of show, one where the animals were treated with respect and kindness, and the performers were free to express their talents with joy and enthusiasm. The new circus was a resounding success. People came from far and wide to witness the amazing feats of skill and daring, but most of all, they came to see the joy on the faces of the performers, both human and animal. Rapunzel, with her heart full of happiness, discovered that her hair shone brighter than ever. It shimmered with kindness, compassion, and the joy of helping others. As for Pinocchio, his wooden nose never grew unnecessarily long again. He had learned the importance of honesty and kindness. He had discovered that a wooden heart filled with love and compassion could be just as warm and true as any other. Rapunzel and Pinocchio remained the best of friends, their bond strengthened by their shared adventure. They had learned that true happiness comes from helping others and standing up for what is right. They continued to spread joy and kindness wherever they went, their story a shining example of the power of compassion, the beauty of empathy, and the importance of following your heart.